Hey there, boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen. Welcome back. I appreciate you checking out these videos, leaving your comments. I greatly appreciate those. I try to get back to everybody. Sometimes it takes me a few days. That's all right. So today I wanted to kind of go over one of the most important but yet overlooked parts when buying a fixed blade knife. And this took me a couple of times to realize what I was looking for, and that's the sheath, or how it's going to be carried. It's really easy to get caught up in the blade, and all of that is very important. But if you absolutely hate the sheath, and you hate how it's going to be carried, then you're not going to carry it that way. It's just not going to be something you're willing to do. So I wanted to go over a few options, a few things, and touch on them a little bit. There's a couple of basic, sheaths. You have a Kydex sheath options. You have leather sheath options of a few different things. Some of the things to be looking for is how they actually carry. So deciding what way you want to carry your fixed blade knife is very important. So like this one here, where it goes through the belt, it kind of dangles a little bit low. And there's danglers. Some of them are actually attached at a swivel point right here. So they move around, they get out of your way, but they hang a little lower. The downside to that is, how is that going to react when you go to pull the knife out? Are you going to, how far are you going to have to pull? What's that going to feel and act like? Are you comfortable with that? Other ones, like this one here, ride a little bit higher. So it doesn't have as much chance to move around, which can be a bother, especially if you're getting in and out of vehicles or in and out of things. That can be a challenge. Also, it can, if your belt's right in here, how high is this sticking up here? Is that sticking up a long ways? Good example of that is, as I move things around here we go, is like this Kydex sheath here. This goes on your belt. If you realize, if your belt is running here and here, this is much higher. So if you're a little bit fluffy above the belt, this may not be comfortable, especially when you sit down or, have to lean one way or the other. That can dig into your side, where this may be a little bit more comfortable. Or if you want to be able to slide that underneath a shirt, have it over, easy to grab out. Just different options, different things. You also have the option to vertically carry, especially like on Kydex and stuff like that, which horizontally carry. I can't talk, but this is nice because it runs with your belt and it can be easy to pull off or out of the way. It's not up and down. Sometimes it fits better. Doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to meet your needs, but it's something to consider. Leather sheaths are nice. A lot of places are now selling Kydex or some kind of plastic material. The nice thing about those is they're a lot less maintenance. You don't have to worry about water. You don't have to, worry about treating them or cleaning them as much, or making sure that they stay somewhat nice. One downside is, if you leave it on the dash of your car on a 100-degree day, guess what? Your knife is not going to fit the same. And not all Kydex sheaths are made the same. Let me rephrase that. Not all plastic sheaths are made the same. There's different materials. Kydex is one that is highly used. I see here, I don't know what they call theirs. You can definitely tell it's a different feeling stuff, but functionality wise, it works great. Another thing is not all companies are great with retention, shaping, and just all around high quality of how they're using or high quality materials. Most everything I have though is a pretty high quality. So I've been lucky in not having something that was utter garbage. But I wanted to kind of touch a little bit more on Kydex sheaths because there's a few more options. Sometimes they're cost effective. They are, you know, they're used in a more wide variety, from everything to on your belt to in your pocket or around your neck. Leather is a little bit more limited on the different ways that you can carry it. A leather neck knife, not saying it's impossible, it's just probably not the most practical way to go about it. Yes, there are some out there that do that and they do it well, but I think Kydex is still a better option there. Sliding in your pocket or in your front pocket or something like that. Yes, there are some great leather options. I'd like to try a few more myself, but Kydex can keep things streamlined, a little easier, getting other things in and out of your pocket and stuff, which that's nice. So getting to the point of why it's so important to actually look at the sheath that comes with the knife is you have the expense of a knife, and good quality knives are not cheap. You may invest $100, $200, $300, whatever it is in a knife. Is that really something you want to turn around and invest another $40, $50, $70, $100, $150 in a carry option? Is that total package value worth it to you? It may or may not be. You know, you take a $100 knife because that's kind of your budget and then realize, crap, I need to spend another $50 to be able to carry it how I want to carry it or what works, is a challenge. So I'm going to hit on this company here a little bit because they just do everything really, really good. I shouldn't really say they, because the knives are made by one guy. The same guy makes the sheaths, and his attention to detail is really, really solid. And it's a great price point for the quality of everything you get. And that's a very good knife company. So, and I have these in a couple of different options here. He also, most of the time, sends like a second belt loop for some of these to be carried a different way. This one here, I've added my own, or it's not mine, I think it's TKL or whatever, their pocket clip option, because I've been carrying it in my front pocket. But as you can see with the Kydex, you can get it very streamlined, very thin. Another thing is retention. Not all retention is done well. And I'm going to pull this up close to the mic so you can hear it, so you won't be able to see it at the same time. But listen to this. I'm going to pop it out. And then as we slide it in, just listen for a nice little click. Put it down here. I doubt you'll be able to hear it as the same, but just you can maybe see how that just snaps in. These do not rattle at all. They don't move. They're very nice. And that's another thing with Kydex and stuff like that. Now, one plus, though, is you can actually adjust. I want you to hear this one here. This is... Let's take this. You probably won't hear it here, but let's do it down here first. Actually, let's just take the mic off. Here's some fuzzy noises. Throw it down here. And just... clicks right in. There's no sound. There's no worry about that coming out. Put this back up here so maybe you can hear me better. But fit and form means a lot. Like form, can you see this ridge there? How that's beveled up? That is to make sure that nothing touches that edge in there. Because if you have a very form-fitted Kydex sheath, it can take away from some of the sharpness in and out, in and out, in and out all the time because it's wearing against it. This guy's taking the time to make sure that this has got space to where it's not hitting that edge. It's formed on, you know, he's obviously got a pattern already made up to be able to make these and makes them really good. For a handmade knife, to be able to sit there and have a reproduction on the patterns that he does, he's taken a lot of time in doing so on his setup. So it makes it much more efficient in the way he does things. But the repeatability is really, really great. Another thing to look for is, can moisture get out? And see if we can get this to focus on there. Maybe, maybe not. We may be too close. We don't have enough space. But having a weep hole to get moisture out is very important. You don't want it sitting inside there, you know, collecting moisture for any extended period of time. And you'll notice with most of all the Kydex I have has a weep hole there. And even some leather. See if I have one down here. I don't think I do. Even some leather sheaths have a hole to let moisture go on through, to give some breathability and stuff like that. Because you don't want it, you know, molding. You don't want it rusting your knife if it's a high carbon steel knife. You don't want it growing funky things if you can avoid it. And moisture does that. And anyways, that's kind of a couple quick little points that I wanted to hit on when buying a knife. The sheath is important. And knowing how you're going to carry stuff and what you're going to be doing is something to take some thought into when you go to buy a knife. If you're willing to buy the knife for $200, even though the sheath is crap, and know that you may have to put another $50 to $100 to get exactly what you want, hey, that's great. As long as you know it ahead of time. Because it really stinks when you buy something really nice and you go to use it and it doesn't work out for you and you don't have enough budget to buy more. It, you know, it's kind of a kick in the gonads if you ask me. Anyways, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you have any questions, leave them below. Have any feedback, any input, let's hear it. Let's see what you got. Thank you and have a wonderful day.